My name is Emily. I'm 32 years old. My common-law partner Simon is 4 years younger at 28. But the relationship between me and Simon is complicated, and we've kept our common-law status a secret, with me acting as if I were the official wife. The Smith family is a family of wealth that has built an era. However, in recent years, their wealth has dwindled, and the Smith family was nearing its end. As the one who saved them from this crisis was Simon's official wife, Julie Ortega, aged 38. The Ortega family is of old noble blood. The Smith family arranged a strategic marriage between Simon and Julie to rebuild themselves. As long as Julie is around, I know I can never truly be with Simon. Yet, I still love Simon, which is why I continue this unbelievable common-law relationship. Simon is a typical rich boy doing whatever he pleases. Despite having Julie and me, he started dating a young mistress, Kelly. Ellie pretended to be a student in Simon's wine class and continued her illicit relationship with him. Simon exaggerated about being an heir to a fortune, sweet-talking Kelly, the mistress he stole from me, and Julie. Kelly smugly provoked. I'm building a $4 million villa in Aspen to nurture our love. Sorry for stealing your happiness. I, full of question marks, replied, Who's building it? Surely not him. He doesn't have that kind of privilege or money. He's confused, Kelly said. Huh? Do you know his bank balance? It's $4. Plus, I'm not Simon's official wife. He has another official wife. It seems the time has come to tell the truth to Kelly, who knew nothing about the Smith family situation and believed Simon's tall tales. What are you having? Simon approached me at the wine bar I had casually entered. The bar was dimly lit, and I couldn't see his face clearly. Is this your first time here? You're a new face. Yes. You don't seem very happy. Something is bothering you. I thought he was too forward for someone I just met. I was almost in tears, longing for someone's warmth. I was dumped by my boyfriend of 4 years. Then this wine.
Omion Juliet Bianca White.
Here's to your next stroke of luck. I'm not well versed in wine, but I knew this one. It was too cheap. I was a bit annoyed that Simon thought I didn't know wine and was trying to impress me. But even this cheap wine felt like a warm embrace on this particular day. This is how Simon and I met, and they began visiting this wine bar more often, drawn to each other. I'd like to date you, Emily. His sudden confession also happened at this bar, but the way he said it made me curious. You're older and such a wonderful person. I thought maybe you wouldn't consider someone like me. No way, Simon. You wouldn't choose an older woman like me. You're not an older woman. Executive thinking isn't good. I wish you'd have more confidence. Simon seemed unusually angry as he said this, so I decided to stop teasing. Emily, can you promise you won't hate the real me once you know? Well, I was bewildered, not knowing what kind of bombshell was about to drop. Is this content really worth being so secretive about? Actually, I'm married. Well, there's a deep reason for this. Simon began to talk about his marriage. You found my marriage partner for me? What are you talking about? Julie from the Ortega family. Isn't she much older than me? Why do I have to go through with an arranged marriage? A girlfriend? I don't have one right now. Are you trying to take advantage of that to push this forward? Smith family's crisis. I don't know anything about that. Oh, the Ortega family used to be nobles? So what? Does the Smith family have no more assets? We can't live the same way we used to. That would be a problem. A marriage to maintain this lifestyle? Well, if that's the case. But still, I can't decide right away. What? Decide now? Marriage isn't something you just decide on the spot. Get Julie once. Looks like a matchmaking meeting. Well, I'll meet her, but what if I refuse? Like end of the Smith family? That's so dramatic. Okay, I'll meet Julie. And that's how Simon and Julie met. Julie was 10 years older than Simon. She seemed plain and unremarkable, but her manners and speech revealed her good upbringing. Let's have a fake marriage. What? I'm aware that there's no way Simon would marry a woman like me. But the Smith family is now in debt, and my grandfather, who's an old acquaintance, wants to help. He proposed marriage to me as a condition because I'm still unmarried at my age. It's unpleasant, right? I understand. But please hear me out. We only need to be married on paper. Simon can date other women, and I won't interfere. You're free to love whoever you want. Our marriage is just between families. We don't need to share a bedroom, and we don't even have to live together. I don't think it's a bad deal for Simon. So if I date Simon, it's with his wife's approval. But would Simon's family allow that? Actually, I'm not living with Julie right now. She's staying at her parents' house, which is fancier and bigger than mine. We just have dinner together twice a month at Smith House. My parents don't say anything. After all, they can live luxuriously without lowering their standard of living, because I married Julie. That's all thanks to me, right? But that means I can never marry Simon, right? I'm thinking of dating someone with marriage in mind next time. Then it would have to be a common law marriage. But you'll be treated like my wife. Tempted by these words, I decided on a common law marriage with Simon without going through a dating period. It feels like I jumped at the chance to be treated like a wife in every way except legally. I would later come to regret this decision. There are a lot of students at today's wine class. Yeah, I was featured in a magazine recently, remember? That's when the number of students suddenly increased. Simon's main job is a sommelier, but he doesn't work anywhere specific. He hosts wine parties once or twice a month and started a wine class at home this month. He's attracting fans. After the wine class, one student remained. She seemed to be helping clean up, so I approached to help. This isn't a place for the wife. Please stay in the background and support Simon. Then Simon appeared. Emily, this is Kelly. I've hired her as my secretary. Enter as secretary. Looks like he's starting to act like a celebrity. Isn't it my mission to stop Simon from getting carried away and making a mistake? Simon's fame has risen quickly, and with more work and fans, I'll manage everything properly. Their vibe suggested they had already gone too far. I silently left the scene. This wasn't Simon's first affair. His naive nature means he falls for people easily. But he also cools off quickly, so these affairs don't last long. Yet he never learns and finds another lover. Well, I've made it all the way to secretary. After the wine class, Kelly stayed in the room. Acting unaware, I could hear her talking on the phone with a friend.
I always get what I aim for. This time, it's a huge hit.
He's a rich hair, handsome, and a sommelier to boot. Yep, the in-demand Simon Smith. When I heard he was holding wine classes at his home, I signed up right away. There was a rush of applications, and it seems like many were turned down. I'm lucky, but I believe it's fate. You know, they say luck is part of skill. Those who didn't make the cut just weren't up to it. I'm a predator after all. My goal is to be a wife. His current wife doesn't even compare. Sure, she's pretty, but Simon is getting bored. Don't they say even beauty becomes boring after 3 days? She's like a decorative doll, not enough for Simon. That's why he's thrilled with our illicit love affair. For now, I may be the mistress, but I'll definitely seize the position of his official wife. Then Smith Fortune will be mine. Simon has no idea she thinks this way. He's such a naive rich boy, quick to trust people and not doubting them. Then Olivia, Simon's mother, arrived. Olivia? Yes, just helping with the cleanup. How did these two become so close? Ellie must be ingratiating herself with Olivia to gain an advantage. Olivia seems to like Kelly. She still doesn't quite know how to deal with me, someone in a delicate position. Besides, I became Simon's secretary, so I'm in charge of the details of this wine class. It's helpful. Kelly, if you could support him. Simon can't do anything on his own. I suggested everything, the wine parties and classes. He won't make a move unless pushed. Even though he's in his 20s. I thought with a sommelier's license, he should do something useful. Simon's attachment to his mom is something, but Olivia's love for him can be excessive at times. But with a wife around, I feel like I'm overstepping. What are you talking about? The wife is useless. She doesn't seem to love Simon. Doesn't do housework, eats separately. Despite being older, she knows nothing. Well, she was raised as a lady, so she's clueless about the real world. As a wife, she's too detached. At this point, I realized Olivia was talking about Julie, not me. Olivia dislikes Julie. It's clear in her attitude. Given Julie's personality, I doubt Olivia would ever like her. Olivia is social, often going out or traveling. On the opposite of Julie, why not get a divorce? It doesn't seem like Simon is that affectionate. He'd be more comfortable with someone younger. Simon likes being pampered by older women but seems to be just going along with them. On the other hand, I think I can continuously stimulate Simon and make for an exciting relationship. If Olivia says something, I don't think Simon's divorce is that unlikely. If only a girl like Kelly could become our daughter-in-law. But our family has its own. Family circumstances can't allow it to happen right away. Rich families have their complexities, but let me be clear, I don't like Simon just because he's a rich heir. I genuinely want to be with him as a fellow wine lover. Just being near him makes me happy. Her phone conversation was so different, I almost laughed. Kelly is clearly after wealthy Simon. Olivia being fooled by such an act is one thing, but what about me in a common law marriage? I can't claim to be the wife, but I'm above a mistress. If Simon says it's over, I'd have to leave this house immediately. Our relationship is that fragile. Ali, now with Olivia on her side, began her offensive against me. Simon said he's building a $4 million villa in Aspen for us to live together. We're going to nurture our love there. But sorry for stealing your happiness. What are you talking about? Who's building it? Surely not Simon? He doesn't have that kind of privilege or money. After all, his bank account has just $4. Plus, I'm not Simon's official wife. Simon has another official wife, you know. Maybe it's time to tell Kelly about Smith family's twisted relationships. Is Kelly my enemy, or is it Julie? I think you better understand the situation properly. If you're just going to say to break up with Simon without understanding, then you should leave. Are you scared? Scared of me saying that to you? You don't know how much Simon wants to leave his wife, do you? Simon tells me everything when he's with me. Mostly complaints about his wife. You should realize how much he dislikes you. You should realize you're just a fling to him. The bond between me and Simon isn't something weak. If it were just a fling, it would have ended in one night, right? But Simon and I are moving things forward behind the scenes. You, as his wife, are the only one who doesn't know. But you're just a trophy wife, just to look good beside him. It's such a bad deal. You approach Simon for his money, right? I can see through that. But you're just a mistress to him, and it's not going any further, so you're attacking me. That's pretty misguided, don't you think? I fired back, seeing right through Kelly's scheme. Ali is still young and naive, not having experienced much of life's harsh realities. Don't you know how amazing your family home is? Isn't it you who is tied to Simon with money? Simon always says he feels like he's kept by money. He's enduring it for his family. It's not just Simon. Olivia is also putting up with a lot. How do you feel about that? Are you still happy? So Kelly doesn't know about the Smith family situation. She thinks the wife Simon and Olivia complain about is not me, but Julie. But could it be just about Julie? Maybe in the shadows, Simon and Olivia are also talking about me as part of the wife issue. Kelly, there's a big secret that Simon hasn't told you. Actually, may I explain it to you? You don't need to show off that you know more about Simon. I get it, you have secrets. Are you okay with staying in the dark? You just don't want to face reality, right? As soon as I said, I'm not Simon's official wife, you tried to change the subject. Fine, tell me. I'll listen. Kelly finally showed a willingness to listen. But knowing Kelly, she might not be fazed even by the truth. Simon and I are in a common law marriage. We're not legally married. Simon has an official wife, Julie, whom he was forced to marry for political reasons. In a way, I'm just an approved mistress by his wife. So our positions might not be so different. Julie, she doesn't live with him, right? I often come to Simon's house as his secretary, but I've never seen her. Julie lives at her family home. They just have dinner together about twice a month, playing pretend as a couple. I'll replace her then. Kelly took the bait. Not backing down, but planning to take Julie's place as the official wife. This is too good an opportunity to miss. Or Emily, are you not giving up the official wife position? If that were the case, you could have acted sooner. That means you never really loved Simon, right? It's not that simple. First off, Kelly, does your family come from money? The Smith family is on the decline, yet they can't afford to lower their lifestyle, so they're seeking financial assistance. And imagine how much Simon has exaggerated. I think I can handle that. Simon's in high demand now, right? He's got TV appearances lined up, and there's talk of him running his own wine bar. Plus, he's handsome, so he's getting commercial offers too. Simon's making his own money. If that's the case, there's no need for Julie as the official wife anymore. So Kelly's betting on Simon's sudden influx of money from his celebrity activities. I thought she was just a frivolous girl, but she's quite shrewd, a dangerous opponent. Not just Julie, but you too, Emily. So Kelly sees both Julie and me as her enemies. Maybe I could have been more aggressive and won Simon over for myself. Instead, I've just been watching, not making any moves. Kelly seems far more serious about Simon. Then, unexpectedly, a guest arrived, and I fell silent. It was Julie. I haven't really looked at Julie properly before. When Julie comes to Smith House, I deliberately stay at a hotel. I didn't want to see her, and she probably didn't want to see me either. I know I'm not welcomed in the Smith family from Simon's mother's attitude. Simon has also been enduring a lot. But I married Simon with a certain feeling, a feeling I could never tell him. Let me explain it now. Shouldn't we call Simon then? I've always felt a bit sorry that you couldn't talk to Simon about these things. No, please. I can never tell Simon. Then maybe you should keep it to yourself and take it to the grave. It doesn't seem like something worth making a big deal about. Kelly is quite blunt, not just because she is young, but she seems irritated by a demure and graceful woman like Julie. Consider this my monologue. Simon and I have a 10-year age gap. The first time I saw Simon, he was 16, a freshman in high school, and I was 26, working at an art museum. Smith and my family have been friends for a long time. My grandfather and Simon's grandfather were social dancing buddies, close friends. I fell for Simon at first sight, seeing him on his way to school. So you fell for high schooler Simon at first sight. But your story's roundabout. Please get to the point. Yes, I'm sorry. My one-sided love continued. I thought I'd be content with just that. I've seen Simon with other women. I knew he'd never notice someone like me. Again, I don't need your feelings. How did you end up marrying Simon? You thought he'd never notice you?
But Joey's story is long, but it's full of feelings she's been holding back. Feelings she couldn't share with anyone, and now she wants us, his mistresses, to understand. Maybe she's hoping for some empathy.
I heard Smith family was in trouble and wanted to help. My grandfather joked, "If you marry my Julie, I'll help." I was 36 then, and he probably teased me. But I thought, that's it. I realized then, with money, even impossible dreams can come true. So you married Simon for politics. Are you happy? You can't live together, can't have kids, or approve of his mistresses. Are you happy with that? I agreed. I agreed with Kelly. Lexically, or is just Pavlishin, is it enough to be a wife in name only, unloved? Is that Julie's victory? I'm happy. I felt a bit of sympathy for Julie with that single word. Julie Emily appealing to my emotions is useless. I will definitely marry Simon. I'm the woman who should be his official wife. Thanks for sharing your feelings, but as far as I'm concerned, so what? Emily, you're a bit crazy too, aren't you? Being an officially approved mistress, isn't that some weird fetish? I will never give up. What would Simon think about the ugly rivalry between the 3 women surrounding him? Maybe he just thinks it's a hassle to be so popular. But to Simon, the official wife, mistresses, and common law marriage might all be the same. But at least Kelly and I were concerned about our relative importance. Although I'm in a common law marriage with Simon, he could easily break up with me anytime. My real enemy is no longer Julie, it's Kelly. So that's how it is. Sorry. I had a bad feeling when Simon invited me to drink wine that night. It's not that I've come to hate you, Emily. It's just that I like Kelly a bit more. I wish all 3 of us could get along, but it's not possible. Why can't I be with just one woman? Eponine laws? I like all of you, why do I have to rank you? Simon probably couldn't imagine how hurt and close to tears I was. X-Fix story. I had forgiven his affairs several times before, confident he would always come back to me. But this time, he chose Kelly alone. You're going to break up with Julie. Yeah, that's what Kelly wants. But what about the Smith family? Will they be okay without Julie? I don't know. But political marriages are nonsense in this day and age, right? I feel like neither Julie nor I are happy. Kelly says I'm a celebrity now. X month's paycheck was incredible. I thought it was a mistake. But celebrity life doesn't last. It's novel now, but it'll fade soon. You know how many one-hit wonders there are in the entertainment industry? You need to think about that. You're smart, Emily. You always think ahead. No, Simon, you're just too naive. Really a pampered rich boy. Emily, I have a sommelier license. If I wanted to, I could easily find work. He's so oblivious. Then give me back my time. What? For the first time, I spoke strongly to Simon, leaving him confused. I believed I could eventually become your official wife these past 2 years. Give them back. I hated being in a common law marriage. You said there was no end to your marriage with Julie, but there is an end with me. I could never be your number 1. I raised my voice, releasing all the words I'd kept inside. But if we're breaking up, I want to say everything. What's wrong, Emily? You've changed so suddenly. You're scaring me, Emily. Catching Simon about to cry, I thought to myself, I'm the one who wants to cry. Someday you'll get what's coming to you. Just with those words, I left Smith House, where I had lived for 2 years as a common-law wife. If Kelly saw me now, she'd probably be smirking triumphantly. How long will it take before I can say I have no regrets, no lingering feelings? I heard about what happened next from Julie, of all people. Not because we were commiserating as the official and common-law wives, but because we met by chance. Julie seemed to have come to terms with everything, showing a smile. Do you know what happened to the Smith family after that, Emily? No, I don't want to think or remember. After divorcing me, my family cut off their support. But Simon seemed okay because of his celebrity activities. Yes, but he's hardly in the public eye anymore. It was just a momentary fascination, and he quickly fell out of favor. They're demolishing Smith House. That was news to me. But the land will sell for a good amount, being prime real estate. They're buying a small apartment to live together as a family. Is Kelly with them? You don't know. Kelly left Simon as soon as the money ran out. She said Simon, without money, was useless and left him. Kelly had maxed out his credit cards, and now she's on the run from debt collectors. Simon is really an idiot. We kept telling him that Kelly was just after his money, but he kept insisting not. Being gullible and pure is such a hassle. And the reason he was cut from TV and magazines was because he lied, right? About having a sommelier license. That's right. He obtained it illegally by paying for it. And now he's being sued by sponsors. Julie and I laughed out loud. Serves him right. Bring harem to the homeless, huh? Like from a Julie.